America, we are in danger of forgetting that there is a virtue vital to the survival of our republic, or any republic for that matter: courage. As John F. Kennedy observed, there are risks and costs to action, but they are far less than the long-range risks of comfortable inaction. We are not a people born into freedom. We seized it, paid for in blood from the moment Patrick Henry in 1775 declared, "Give me liberty or give me death." These are not words uttered for mere political convenience. They meant and acted upon them. For liberty never comes cheaply. History has demonstrated this truth time and again. It must be seized from tyranny. The succession of each generation must take up the banner. 250 years ago, the men and women of Valley Forge trudged onward when all seemed lost. For they grasped this truth: the loss of liberty occurs not all at once, but rather in gradual and incremental steps, often under the guise of virtue and security. At the Battle of Appomattox, we exacted the final breath from the South and buried the evils of slavery beneath the rebel rubble of the Confederacy. An estimated 400,000 Union soldiers died, 40,000 of them black soldiers. In 1917, we shipped men across the Atlantic to end imperialism and drive the final nail into the Kaiser's coffin. We demonstrated our willingness to defend liberty far from our native shores and at great cost. Yet, not every battle has been waged on the battlefield. In 1920, this country took a definitive step toward realizing this nation's ideals, so beautifully articulated in the Declaration of Independence. And women gained the right to vote for a nation they had given birth to. Though we desire and earnestly seek peace, peace is not an end in itself. Existing is not living, just as life under tyranny is not living. Evil exists. It always has. It takes many forms, but always demands absolute conformity. Jesse Owens confronted, and then decidedly defeated, in view of the whole world, the idea of racial superiority. And so, every generation of Americans must assume the cloak of liberty's guardian, no matter their profession. But evil is not always so easily dissuaded. And so, once more, America stepped into the breach that others could not, or would not, against the Nazi Empire that sought to yoke all of humanity under the shackles of slavery, motivated by pathological white supremacy. We stormed the shores of Normandy and fought to the steps of the Reichstag. Then we turned inward to eliminate the last vestiges of the Old South that remained within our borders. Martin Luther King used weapons of another kind. His weapons were not hewed from any material, yet he transformed a country with his words.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Those words pierced the soul of America and were found commensurate with the words of Thomas Jefferson. King moved America another step toward realizing those self-evident truths upon which America stands. Yet, evil, as it so often does, masquerades as compassion. Systems seeking absolute equality enslaved billions and killed an estimated 50 to 100 million to achieve a utopia that never existed. Here too we stood resolute against the red tide of communism that threatened to engulf the world. Here too, our enemies wore red, just as they had nearly 200 years before. And here too, they met their end. For our ideals are not theirs. American ideals of individualism, justice, and liberty resonate in the soul of men and women across time. You hear it in their speeches. You read it in their works. But most of all, you see it in their acts. Winston Churchill said, "The destiny of man is not measured by material computations." When great forces are on the move in the world, we learn we're spirits, not animals. There's something going on in time and space, and beyond time and space, which, whether we like it or not, spells duty. Now today, those very virtues are threatened. We can see the shadows on the horizon, and we can feel the threats pressing in upon us. Big tech silences our voices. American history is perverted by lies and half-truths for political purposes. Our children are told they are colors, not individuals. and by dint of their color, they are responsible for the sins of other men. A vocal minority seeks to deconstruct America and destroy our story of liberty. We cannot secure our virtues with silence. And this is the duty that Churchill spoke of, that in the arc of history, beyond the realm of chance and probability, you can feel the hand of providence. It stirs our spirits and moves us toward truth. We cannot sit in comfortable inaction and preserve our liberties. Preserving those requires the same mettle that it always has: courage. The choice that confronts you is a simple one. You can kneel and surrender, or you can stand.